Anybody else feeling bad for the piano? Hi, I'm Don Badan from SampleLibraryReview.com. Today we're checking out Sampletracks Alibi, Rusty Sound Design, and Antique Piano. Sampletracks has built an incredible reputation for creating sound libraries, some of which are contact instruments. Almost all are in WAV format as well. For this one, there's 800 megabytes of content with 280 waves, all 48 24-bit with key and tempo information. There's 30 plus contact instruments. It does require the full version of Contact 5.8 if you want to run those contact instruments. However, all of the samples are delivered as WAV files, 100% royalty free, with a collection of sound design elements, piano hits, keys, piano loops, disturbances, alarms and blasts, and cinematic atmospheres. Alibi normally sells for $49. You can grab it now for $39 US. I'll include a link to Sampletracks below. Alright, I've got Alibi loaded up. See here, all your NKIs are in one folder. We've got disturbances, found sounds, piano hits and keys, loops, stutters, syncs, textures. Let's just dive right in. Let's listen to some of these presets. Right away, we see a very simple engine, great speed in load times, really loading up quickly. The instrument interface here, very simple, straightforward. I understand what's going on just with a glance. Let's continue on listening to more presets. So far, some great atmospheres. Okay, this is getting crazy. Yeah, really neat found sounds. A small selection, but incredible stereo spread, full-bodied piano hits and keys. Anybody else feeling bad for the piano? All right away. I'm liking the piano hits and keys already. Some of these, like that, I'd love to have that as a chromatic instrument to play with. Let's see what happens. Piano keys 1. Here we go. Yeah, now we're just getting into it. Let's see what else we got with the piano keys here. Now, because it's a lo-fi sample, that noise on the end, that noise buildup, um, it doesn't bother me. It almost adds a character to it in a way. Whereas normally I would be upset by hearing noise build up when you have multiple layers. Yeah, playing a little bit with the reverb and delay to kind of see what we can coax out of the library there. These piano loops are supposed to be tempo synced. Yep, they're following my DAW, jumping tempo around. Oh yeah, I think we found the gem of the library here. Love it. Sound design, one instrument. Cool. As a user, I prefer to have booms and hits separated. I don't want to miss them because they're in a sound design folder myself. What happened there? And then there's a whole nother sound design NKI as well. Once again, loving the sound design. Just wish we had separate hits and booms folders for those, for just ease of searching and finding. Okay, here we've got stutter 1. Okay, chromatic across the keyboard for these stutters. Pretty cool sound design there. Chromatic texture 1 and a texture 2 folder. Chromatic as that one. And then we got textures all. And those are the presets. There's also an initial NKI here I didn't use. It's got nothing loaded. You could add your own sample, I assume. Just in the wave editor, play with that. I've mentioned some of my thoughts along the way. The interface it's somewhat easy to use. There's a couple things I'm going to have to look at to make sure I understand exactly how to get them to work. I feel like the sound design has some real high points. There's a couple gems in here. Those piano loops, I would get a library just of those if it was just continually flushed out. I mean, like 800 percussive piano loops, all tempo synced, and from those chopped up and turned into a little percussive drum kits in a way too. That would be incredible. Some of these piano keys, they sound good. There's some neat stuff with these ones that you can play chromatically, and the same goes for these two textures. Now with those textures all, as I mentioned, there's one on each key, and there's only broken out for 2 of those samples into instruments, and that's just the way that those lended themselves. I feel like those other textures wouldn't lend themselves to chromatic. So I feel like, in a way, sample tracks often will sample stuff, and then what they've got, they create out of. More like an artist sculpting sound design rather than an instrument creator approaching an instrument and trying to create an entire toolkit out of it. When I hear those piano hits and keys and those sound design stuff, my critique there, I said, I'd like to have some hits and some boom folders. Or instruments. That way I know where they're at. Great sound design, some real gems in it. Overall, a really nice instrument. especially for their asking price. But those are just my thoughts along the way. I'd love to hear yours. Please comment below. Let me know what you think about Alibi. Is this something that you could be using in your horror, suspense, those tracks? Are there other uses that I'm not thinking of? Maybe for your experimental EDM or, pop music. I don't know. I mean, you never know where some of this great sample design is going to find its way into. Please comment below. Your comments help guide the channel. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe. Head back around to the channel, for the weekly DL Compressor show on Fridays.